looking back in the last couple of years, Hearthstone has changed a lot of things. For example, we got a lot of modifications related to our lovely Battlegrounds game. But of course, there is a main game. We are really not into it that much.
Well, talk to you for yourself. I got a 100% win rate.
You did one game.
That. Yeah.
In one stream.
But still 100% win rate. So,
Would
Simply search up for Battlegrounds hits and you will find it.
No, but looking back 2 years, a lot of things have changed in the world of Hearthstone.
yes.
And now the big question is it a trend upward or a trend downward? We got some new numbers in place, aren't we?
Exactly. So what changed is that Hearthstone now officially shares the numbers that reached legend in Hearthstone. So let's take a look. And let me hide you both quickly. Because you are behind some numbers. So as we can see, Dian is, so the Chinese server is really big. And compared to us others, we are quite
Combined,
small.
not that big.
Nope.
We're talking about Platinum players right now, correct?
Legend players.
So the normal scum like us is not listed there, and we're talking about the big players.
So legend is like less than 1% which reach legend, so it's a really small amount of players.
So let's say that the numbers here and the relation between normal players and the top players are not changing.
Exactly.
The important thing is, what were the numbers 2 years before?
So yeah, 2 years before, we can see, at least in China, we can see they changed something, but looking at the other numbers, I don't know. It's
typical. The perfect thing is, you saw in Classic we don't get any information, therefore we can be in the video once again.
But yeah, it's hard to compare numbers first looking at this. So we have a graphic like this where we see the numbers. So in 2022, for example, in China, got 55% more players that reached
That's
legend.
a lot.
Yes.
That's really a lot.
But in the white format, 20% less.
That's a lot. That's really a lot. Sorry.
So just, I mean, I work in trading, and these numbers are very high. If you would look at money numbers like this, I don't get the terms right now. Sorry.
And actually, looking back, we all know what was 2 years ago, COVID, and I think having the same numbers now compared to 2 years ago, where no one left their home.
Yep, it's showing that the people probably started with
Because
it
let's
and
be
going
honest.
into the game and getting in the top tier level back
Because
now.
let's be honest, let's talk about you. Do you play now more or less than 2 years ago in your private life?
I guess less. Yeah, definitely less.
So therefore, I think it's really astonishing if we first take a look without Xi'an, because China is a really different topic. We can see we have more players that reach legend in standard, and well, I have 14 people there that reach more legends in wild. And the increase is insane. Like 9%.
In theory, we still have to mention it. It could be that this player base is absolutely the same, but we just got a higher rate of top tier players. That could be the case as well, in theory.
In theory, yes, but it's really unlikely, because if I win a star in Hearthstone Constructed, my opponent loses one, and therefore he can't reach legend. So it should be around the same.
Okay.
There are some small ways to change it up, but it should be pretty much the same percentage which reach legend nowadays compared to 2 years ago.
And we're just talking about the normal game. We have to mention this once again, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So we are talking about standard and white and classic, not really included because we don't sadly have the stats. And if we include China, a lot more players in standard and less in white, which mainly is because in China white was really big and it got sadly a lot smaller.
Is it a thing that we are surprised about? In general, I got the feeling that Hearthstone is pretty good maintained by Blizzard. They're adding a lot of new stuff. The community feels great. It's not toxic like other games.
Disco?
There would be a lot of examples with a toxic fan base. You join a game and everyone's like, "Oh, you're trying to troll us because you're not a pro yet. Ban." Hooray.
I actually think about, so I know that the new Modus Duels was introduced in 2020. I think Battlegrounds was
very long time ago.
2000 and no, it was. Let me take a look.
Yeah.
When Battlegrounds was introduced.
Feels like a long time. Or just a lot of hours, I don't know.
It was in November 2019.
Okay, it's nearly 2020, never mind.
But yeah, the Modus Duels was introduced back in 2020.
Battleground turns 3 years old this year.
Yeah.
In this month, exactly, we have the first.
In general, the auto battler scene was like 2019. It was introduced. It was one of the really new archetypes, new style of games, which I really enjoy. And let's be honest, Blizzard did something really well with Hearthstone Battlegrounds.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Did Blizzard do well compared to their revenue?
Oh, money is a thing. I mean, they really try to sell you the skins and inform you about sales. It's not like a mobile game where you got 24/7 notifications. Oh yeah, we got a limited pack. But when they got something in sale, they're gonna inform you that there is something in sale.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
on a fair level, but it's a lot.
We see we have more legend players, but let's see if they also make more money.
Money.
The source for this one is Sensor Tower, and the graphic was made by the YouTube channel Hearthstone Mathematics, which do a lot of those infographics. So shout out to them. And
thanks for letting us steal, and we didn't ask you, but credits.
no, I think at least giving credit is something
I guess
you
that is
really
the
should do.
definition of fair use. You can use everything for some time and not show the whole thing if you add something to it. So Hearthstone Mathematics, if you got the stats in high quality in the future and want to send us the stuff, here we are. Hello.
Something that actually happened quite a lot of times to us when we first introduced something, that people just steal it without mentioning us. But if you show the source, feel free to.
Okay, let's look at the money.
Let's take first at the richest player. So we see
what money.
No, money comes later, Vena.
Okay.
It's not all about money.
It is.
So we see
all
what's
about the game and how you play it.
And sadly, we don't have any numbers here.
What is sad, because I would love to see the trend on mobile or desktop. For me, it's more of a desktop game when you got your high intense situations, but of course it's totally playable mobile. But
yeah,
okay.
Hearthstone is a really nice mobile game. It's was working good. For the total revenue, let's take a look at the first 4 years. We see it was decent, but sadly again
no
missing
numbers.
data. For China, we have not any clue, which is really sad because in China, Hearthstone is gigantic.
We saw the numbers before. We saw the top tier players.
And as you saw
compared
here,
to
it's
everything else.
Everything is combined. So sadly, China is really, really important. But what we have is the revenue on mobile. And we see
These are interesting numbers.
We see in 2016, Hearthstone was the biggest on mobile with $180, but a bit smaller there, and then 2019 happened. Battlegrounds happened.
And Battlegrounds back then, let's remember,
was completely free to play.
Was free to play, and you were even able to get the figure for heroes in the beginning. Was achievable for free.
And what some don't know, Hearthstone Battlegrounds makes, depending on the numbers, is either the biggest or second biggest mode of Hearthstone. So Battlegrounds is gigantic. It's his own game, being honest.
And now, like some years later, they realized, okay, we got to make a bit more money out of Battlegrounds, otherwise we are in big trouble.
Yeah. But sadly we don't have that, so here we see COVID hit. Obviously players, you don't have that much money to spend sometimes, or
More
you have
time, but less money.
or just more time, more stuff to spend on, because let's be honest, for the normal mode, it doesn't impact you that much if you buy 60 packs or 100, or if you buy another skin.
Yeah. I guess you could say skins are most likely not, related to the game results.
In 2021 we got a bit more, and don't be concerned because it's only 23, it's the first half of 2023, 2022, and I would assume at least that in the second half people spend more, because you get like maybe a bit more from your chef, like the Weihnachtsgeld,
Money and holiday, yeah. And we once again have to mention that they changed a lot related to Hearthstone Battlegrounds. So maybe there is some new revenue stream as well.
Yeah.
The fans weren't that excited about the fact, of course, because paying to get some cosmetics is nice to a lot of people, but not to everyone.
Well, the big stuff that people didn't like is that beforehand you had the option to buy
With 1,500, yeah.
It depends on the time when you bought it. It was sometimes cheaper, sometimes more expensive. But yeah, you were able to buy it with in-game coins, and now you only are able to buy it via real money, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I understand it from a business point of view. On the other side, when I played it since the beginning and they just randomly be like, yeah, but we do it for you because you can get a lot of exciting skins. But that's a topic for another time.
I'm pretty sure that Battlegrounds is a modus which is one of the biggest on mobile. Therefore,
Safe.
I actually believe they will be able to beat 2021. I would actually believe that the second half, because they changed so much, Hearthstone will grew. But we don't know.
But it seems that there is
Still healthy. 2019 was bullshit for them, but they slowly recover, I think. Maybe.
I mean, it's still revenue.
Well, yeah, we
and
also take 86 million.
once again,
We also take the 86 million. We
sure.
have no problem with it.
Now, the thing is, as long as Hearthstone is doing well, we are doing well and can entertain you here on the side because you, visit our site.
Exactly. Which
When
can
you want to see any deeper information about the numbers you saw right now or other topics, because right now a lot of things are going on in the Hearthstone world, join our website hearthstonedex.net. But there is a good chance you know about us.
So yeah, what is your overall opinion on the numbers we saw here? We saw a bit more players, we saw a revenue decline. Is the game still in a healthy situation, yes or no?
Safe because they're doing things that the community isn't happy about, obviously, but are probably needed, especially since a lot of things in the backgrounds are going on with the whole acquisition by Microsoft, if I remember correctly. Yes. Of course, there will be changes and maybe even more focus on getting the revenue into it. But it's still a game that is connected to the community, is doing a lot of new things, and as long as updates are rolling and we're getting new features and creative new ideas, I don't think Hearthstone will die in the next couple of years. I don't think so.
Demon, do you agree or is Bino talking bullshit and Hearthstone is dying next Sunday?
No, I won't guess so. I mean, Activision still, Blizzard still has World of Warcraft as well, and I don't have numbers yet, but I guess the numbers are going down there as well, or going down there. But they still keep it running and running, because they have a certain amount of players who plays them on and on and on. And it's the same with Battlegrounds. You always have amount of players who will always play this game. Yeah, I don't guess that Hearthstone will go down soon. So yeah,
Hearthstone will never be the AAA title like a Call of Duty. Of course not.
no.
Well, actually, Hearthstone was, I think in 2015, 2016, it was sometimes on Twitch at least bigger than League of Legends. Hearthstone was one of the biggest game back in 2016.
So just a few years
Hearthstone
played.
made, I would actually say Hearthstone made Twitch.
Yeah, we talked a lot about meme culture. That was
Hearthstone made donations on Twitch. Actually, Hearthstone donations first exist because of Hearthstone. Meme culture.
sounds
Hearthstone
like
had a huge
an
impact.
amazing podcast when people would be interested in us and the whole background stuff.
Well, we know a lot of marketing because
We're
we
doing
are a
marketing.
marketing
It's our
agency.
job. Where we don't play video games and hope to do a revenue out of it, which
What?
we don't.
If you want to hear more about us talking about, I guess you should check out our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GameThunder. I think that's it for the video.
That's it. But no. One thing. When we talk about marketing, looking at the numbers, one of the most interesting things, in my point of view, is that you don't see a lot of advertisement for Hearthstone itself. It maintains by the fact that people are watching it, people are talking about it, and that's it most likely. There isn't a, I see a lot of advertisement for World of Warcraft, but really few of Hearthstone. Do you got any informations about this?
I want to show you one thing because Hearthstone had a really viral video they made back in 2016, I believe. Let me stop the music. Let's stop the music.
Don't stop the music. We shouldn't
Oops.
sing.
It should not start yet. So as you can see, it's not our mother tongue,
Correct.
but I hope we will understand it.
Okay.
Let's see.
お疲れ様です社長お疲れ様です社長お疲れ様ですお疲れ様ですお疲れ様ですお疲れ様です社長お疲れ様ですお疲れ様ですお疲れ様です
Being honest, it's kind of cringe, but you're not
I
good
tried to
reaction
listen to the
streamers.
lyrics.
あるぞ一発逆転世界5000万人が熱狂戦略カードゲームハースス
You
ト
get
ーン
an advertisement and it has 3 million views.
That's okay. It's
And
not.
that's for free. And I know 3 million is not that much, but 3 million for a card game, which is,
Yeah.
if you're honest, Hearthstone is one of the biggest game for a really small niche. Like, I talked to so many people, they know all the games, but Hearthstone has 100 million players.
And that's a goddamn lot.
Hearthstone is still one of the biggest games out there.
And
But no one knows
comparing
about
the
it.
numbers to a thing like World of Warcraft, what was back then one of the biggest thing human was even able to just gather in place, server-wise, player-wise, everything-wise, finding enough nerds on the planet.
Like I said, Hearthstone, for example, had almost 100,000 viewers back in 2016 every single time, permanently on Twitch. It's huge. And nowadays,
We gotta bring it back.
I think it's like 20k. Let's see what it has right now. I guess we should really cut the video a bit more. Because
It's really long. I mean, we will do the games, no problem. But it
right
would
now, okay, I guess it's because of the new announcement that happened on this time. Because right now a new Hearthstone expansion was got announced. But 40k viewers, 10 million followers.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, the 4K is not that much. Looking at some German streamers, they got these numbers easily alone. Looking at the numbers at Hearthstone, we surely can say Hearthstone is still absolutely in the game. Yeah, it's not peak performance, of course not, but it's still there. They are doing a lot of updates and not a lot of new features, and therefore there is a good chance that we're gonna play Hearthstone in the future, that we're gonna stream a lot, that the website will maintain, and therefore we don't gonna die because we need the website to keep the company alive. Please still play the game or inform us about the new stuff.
So taking a look at Twitch for stats, in the last year we got 20% fewer watched hours, 20% less viewers on average, but still 25,000 viewers on average. It's still a lot.
It's still alive, and that's the main thing. And that's the thing I really like about Blizzard. Even when they maybe did something wrong with the Warcraft 3 remake, in theory they are still there for their community and hold up to their franchises. And that's a thing we should appreciate.
Absolutely, and one of the craziest things, Hearthstone has one of the highest viewer durations on Twitch, which means every streamer has 137 viewers, which is insanely for Twitch. Because let's compare it to League of Legends, and let's compare it to an email that I got.
I was asking about the sound. I wasn't informed what this notification should
For
mean.
example, League of Legends has was 54, and like we saw before, League of Legends
And the
is
peak players
insanely
in
strong.
League are a lot higher.
Absolutely. So yeah,
So we got on average like 500. We are on a regular base in the top with 500 in LoL. Page 20, please.
but yeah,
Is there anything to add? Hearthstone is doing well enough to be there for the next couple of years, and we are happy. Can I agree?
Yeah.
absolutely. And I guess that's really enough for this video, which will have some cuts in there. Thanks, Lehman.
You're welcome.
Have a good one, and see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.